The alarm buzzes in the dark, a faint sound cutting through the silence, barely loud enough to disturb the stillness. It's a moment, a small, almost forgettable moment, but in that moment something powerful is taking shape. Most people don't even notice. They slap the snooze button, turning away, retreating back into the softness of their pillow, sinking deeper into the comfort of sleep. They tell themselves 5 more minutes, as if 5 minutes is nothing, as if those 5 minutes don't hold the potential to reshape their entire life. But they do. Those 5 minutes are a doorway. On one side is the familiar pull of comfort, and on the other side, the path to becoming someone extraordinary. The decision is so small that it feels meaningless, but it isn't. It's the first battle. And most people lose. What no one tells you is that your life doesn't change in grand moments. It changes here, right here, when your body wants to stay down and your mind whispers, just get up. It's not a roar. It's not a burst of energy. It's quiet, a flicker. But that flicker can light a fire if you catch it. The people who build incredible lives aren't necessarily the ones with more talent or more resources. They are the ones who master these tiny moments of decision. They are the ones who rise when it's easier to stay down. They are the ones who understand that 5 minutes of purpose in the morning can give you more power than hours of scattered effort later in the day. You see, most people are living in a cycle. They wake up reacting. They grab their phone, scrolling, reading, watching other people's lives while theirs silently slips away. They let the world set their focus. They let the noise fill their minds before they've even taken their first breath of awareness. And they wonder why they feel tired, lost, overwhelmed. But those who win their mornings win their days. Those who protect those first 5 minutes build something unbreakable inside them. It isn't about grand routines or perfect schedules. It's about claiming those minutes as yours. Imagine this. You wake up and instead of reaching for your phone, you sit still. You close your eyes, even for 30 seconds. You breathe slowly, deeply. You remind yourself who you want to become, not who you were yesterday. You grab a small notebook and write down one thought, one goal, one thing you're grateful for. You move your body, even just to stretch, to tell yourself that you are alive, that you are present, that you are not here to sleep through life. You may think this is too simple. You may think it's not enough. But that's where most people are wrong. It's not about doing 100 things. It's about doing one thing with intention. One thing that sends a signal to your brain, I am in charge now. I am no longer drifting. The morning is powerful not because of the time on the clock, but because of what it represents. It is the beginning. It is the reset. It is your chance to create momentum before the world pulls you in every direction. When you own your morning, you take back your life. You create space to think, to reflect, to decide how you will show up today. Without it, you're simply surviving the day, reacting to everything thrown your way. With it, you are designing the day. You are stepping into it with clarity and power. The truth is, people wait for motivation to appear. They wait for energy to find them, but they don't realize that the smallest action creates the spark. The first 5 minutes don't require you to feel like it. They require you to decide. And when you decide, when you stand up in that moment where your body wants to stay down, you've already won the first battle. That win gives you something priceless, momentum, and momentum, no matter how small, changes everything. You don't need to meditate for an hour or write pages in a journal or run 5 miles. You need 5 minutes of commitment. 5 minutes where you're not distracted, not rushing, not pulled by notifications or messages or deadlines. Just 5 minutes where you check in with yourself. 5 minutes where you remind yourself what matters. 5 minutes where you reconnect to the version of you that you are trying to build. Most people underestimate the power of small beginnings. They look for complex solutions, thinking that if it's not hard, it's not valuable. But in reality, the simple things done consistently are the most transformative. 5 minutes, that's it. 5 minutes that decide whether you are shaping your life or letting life shape you. 5 minutes that decide whether you stay stuck or start moving forward. 5 minutes that decide whether you choose who you want to become or stay trapped in who you've always been. That's why this moment matters. That's why the decision to rise matters. because it isn't just about today's 5 minutes. It's about who you become in the process of choosing those 5 minutes every day. It's about the silent message you send to yourself when you stop chasing perfection and start building consistency. It's about realizing that discipline is not something you are born with. It's something you practice, something you earn, something you reinforce every morning you choose to show up. So tomorrow, when the alarm buzzes and the comfort of sleep tries to pull you back, remember this. You are not battling the bed. You are battling the old version of yourself. You are standing at the edge of who you've been and who you could become, and that future self is waiting on the other side of 5 powerful minutes. Most people believe that to change their lives, they need to take massive, overwhelming actions. They think they need to wake up at 4 a.m., run marathons, read 10 books a month, and completely flip their schedule overnight. They imagine success as this giant mountain that can only be climbed through exhausting, painful effort. And because they see it this way, they never start. The mountain feels too high, the climb too hard, the distance too far. So they stay where they are. But they are missing the greatest truth about success. It is never the mountain that makes you. It is the pebble under your feet that you step over every single day. Small things, tiny shifts, quiet moments of discipline. This is where life changes. 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. It sounds too simple. It sounds like it can't possibly matter. But the mind, the heart, the spirit, they don't need hours to wake up. They need focus. They need repetition. They need signals. A 5-minute morning habit is not about the clock. It's about the message. It tells your brain, I am serious about my growth. It tells your heart, I am choosing me today. It tells your body, we are moving forward, even if it's just by one step. That tiny habit may be the smallest thing you do, but it might carry the greatest weight in shaping who you become. The reason 5 minutes is powerful is because it's impossible to argue against it. You can't tell yourself you don't have 5 minutes. You can't tell yourself you're too busy, too tired, too overwhelmed. 5 minutes is always available. It strips away every excuse. It removes the barriers that stop most people from starting. It's small enough to feel safe, but powerful enough to create real change. It's the crack in the wall that eventually brings the whole barrier down. The human mind loves patterns. It loves loops. And when you give it a small, positive loop to repeat, it starts to crave it. A 5-minute habit becomes the anchor of your morning. It becomes the thing you look forward to because it grounds you. Maybe it's sitting quietly with a cup of water. Maybe it's writing one sentence in a journal. Maybe it's reading one paragraph from a book that sharpens your thinking. Whatever it is, it becomes your ritual. A place where you meet yourself without distraction, without noise, without pressure. This is not about rushing through a checklist. It's about learning to slow down, to build a relationship with your own life. And the beauty is, when you commit to 5 minutes, you often find yourself going further. What starts as 5 minutes of stretching might turn into a walk. What starts as 5 minutes of breathing might become 10 minutes of meditation. What starts as 5 minutes of reading might grow into a lifelong habit of learning. But even if it stays at 5 minutes, it still wins. Because the purpose was never to impress anyone. The purpose was to show up for yourself. To show your mind that you can trust yourself. That when you say you'll do something, you actually do it. Consistency is not built on huge efforts done occasionally. It is built on small efforts done relentlessly. 5 minutes every day is far more powerful than an hour once a week. It's the frequency that reshapes you. It's the rhythm that rewires your mind. You don't need a life overhaul. You need a life thread, a simple daily practice that ties your days together with purpose. 5 minutes is that thread, and when you look back after weeks and months, you'll see that those tiny stitches have woven a new identity. The people who master their lives are not the ones who sprint and burn out. They are the ones who build quiet, steady, almost invisible routines that compound over time. They understand the power of small things. They understand that 5 minutes of movement, 5 minutes of reading, 5 minutes of reflection is not wasted. It is the seed, and every day you water that seed, Something grows sometimes underground where you can't see it, sometimes in small shoots that eventually become strong enough to change your entire landscape. Discipline is not some rare gift. It is the result of choosing the small thing repeatedly until it becomes automatic. 5 minutes is not about the activity itself. It is about the act of choosing it. Every time you do, you break the old pattern. Every time you do, you vote for your future self. Every time you do, you step away from chaos and closer to clarity. There will be days when you don't feel like it. Days when your mind will tell you it's pointless, that 5 minutes won't matter. But those are the most important days. Because when you can show up in those moments, you prove to yourself that you are not controlled by mood or by comfort. You are controlled by your vision. You are driven by something bigger than temporary feelings. And when that becomes your default, you become unstoppable. This is the real power of small habits. They build trust. They create identity. They shape belief. The moment you choose to commit to those 5 minutes, you send a message to your future. I will not wait for life to happen. I will make it happen. 5 minutes may be short, but its impact will echo through every corner of your life. It's not just a habit. It's the foundation of who you are becoming. Your morning is not just a routine. It is the most sensitive, most dangerous, most powerful part of your day. The way you enter your morning determines the shape of everything that follows. Yet most people carelessly throw these minutes away. They start their day in reaction, not in creation. They open their eyes and immediately allow the outside world to take control. Their phones become the masters of their attention. Their messages become the drivers of their mood, and their tasks become chains pulling them in every direction. They give the first and most precious part of their day to chaos. They don't see what they're losing. They don't see that the morning is not simply the beginning of the day, it is the builder of the mind. The first 5 minutes when you wake up hold a raw power. In those moments, your mind is open, your heart is vulnerable, your emotions are sensitive. You are in a state where your thoughts are easily shaped, easily influenced. If you spend those minutes scrolling through negativity, you allow the outside world to plant seeds in your mind. And those seeds grow into anxiety, frustration, weakness. But if you claim those minutes, if you protect them, if you give them to yourself and not to the world, you start to build a mind that cannot be shaken by outside forces. The people who earn their mornings build a foundation of control, clarity, and calm that carries them through the storms of the day. It is not magic, it is not complicated, it is simple, but it is intentional. A 5-minute habit in the morning is a declaration. It says, I decide what enters my mind. I decide how I start. I decide what story I tell myself today. That decision is everything. Athletes warm up their bodies before they compete. They prepare their muscles, their breathing, their focus. They never step into the game cold. So why would you step into your life cold? Why would you begin your day without warming up your mind, without centering your focus, without anchoring yourself in purpose? The 5-minute habit is your warm-up. It prepares your mental muscles to handle pressure. It sharpens your focus to cut through distraction. It strengthens your emotional core to stay grounded when the unexpected hits. Without this, you walk into your day mentally unarmed, and life will throw things at you challenges noise demands. And without a strong mind, you will react blindly. But when you build your morning, you build your mind. And when you build your mind, you build your life. The people who succeed are not the ones who face easier days. They are the ones who enter their day prepared. Their mornings are not rushed, not panicked, not stolen by distractions. They have carved out a small, sacred space to align with their vision. They use their 5 minutes to set their intentions, to fuel their gratitude, to choose their focus. And that focus carries them. It gives them resilience. It gives them direction. When you begin your day intentionally, you move through your hours with a quiet power. You do not drift. You do not chase. You lead. You do not crumble when things go wrong because you started your day by choosing to stand tall. That first 5 minutes becomes your center, and no matter how wild the day becomes, you can return to that center. You can remind yourself that you are not here to be controlled by noise. You are here to build. You are here to lead. You are here to grow. People think they need motivation to start, but they don't understand that momentum builds motivation. Action creates energy. When you sit in silence, when you breathe, when you write, when you stretch, you are building energy. You are creating a pulse inside you that says, I am awake, I am alive, I am ready. And that pulse pushes you forward. Without this, you spend the day waiting to feel motivated. But with this, you create your own fire. Some people live their lives chasing the day, others create it. The difference is what they do with their morning. The difference is those first 5 minutes. When you spend them wisely, you train your brain to work for you, not against you. You program your thoughts to move toward growth, not away from it. You command your focus instead of surrendering it. And every day you repeat this, your mind becomes sharper, your heart becomes stronger, your discipline becomes deeper. There will be distractions. There will be temptations. There will be moments when you think 5 minutes can be skipped, when you think it's too small to matter. But that is the test. That is the choice that shapes your path. The people who skip those 5 minutes think they are saving time, but they are losing power. They are losing direction. They are losing the battle for their own mind. 5 minutes is enough to change the entire rhythm of your day. It is enough to remind you that you are in control. It is enough to plant seeds of focus and gratitude that will grow as the day unfolds. When you guard those 5 minutes, you guard your mindset. When you protect those 5 minutes, you protect your purpose. It is not about the size of the habit. It is about the weight you give it, the respect you give it, the commitment you give it. Your morning is your mental armor. Build it, respect it, stand in it. Let those first 5 minutes become the foundation that holds you steady no matter what comes next. When you build your morning, you build a mind that cannot be broken. The day ends, the sun sets, and the world slowly fades into stillness. People move through their evenings exhausted, unaware of the invisible pattern that has controlled their lives. They wonder why they feel stuck, why they keep falling back into the same struggles, why growth always slips through their fingers. They blame their circumstances, their work, their luck. But what they don't see is that the battle was never in the middle of the day. The battle was lost the moment they opened their eyes and surrendered those first 5 minutes. That's where it always begins, and that's where it always ends. The people who build unstoppable lives are not waiting for the perfect moment. They are not waiting for the weekend, the new year, or some distant future. They understand that their life is being shaped in the tiny, ordinary, overlooked minutes that most people throw away. They know that 5 minutes in the morning can rewrite the script of the entire day. They know that 5 minutes, done with intention, repeated with discipline, can rewire the mind, rebuild the heart, and reignite the spirit. Every morning is a new negotiation with yourself. Every morning is a quiet decision that either keeps you chained to the past or pulls you forward into the future you say you want. The alarm rings and the choice stands before you: comfort or growth, distraction or purpose, delay or discipline. That choice is never loud. It never announces itself with urgency. It's subtle, it's quiet, and most people miss it. They trade those precious 5 minutes for sleep, for scrolling, for nothingness. And they spend the rest of their day wondering why they feel weak, why they feel lost, why they feel like life is slipping away. But those who claim those minutes, those who rise, those who commit to themselves before committing to the demands of the world, they build something that cannot be taken from them. They build resilience. They build momentum. They build an identity of someone who shows up, who keeps promises to themselves, who chooses growth over comfort. The truth is, the 5 minute habit is not just about building better mornings. It's about building a better you. It's about proving to yourself that you are no longer at the mercy of your old habits. It's about stepping into a life where you lead, where you decide, where you build with your own hands instead of waiting for life to hand you something. Those 5 minutes become the first brick you lay each day, and over time you will look around and realize you've built a fortress of discipline, a fortress of focus, a fortress of confidence. There will always be days when you don't feel like doing it. Days when your body is heavy, your mind is clouded, and your spirit feels distant. But those are the days that define you. Anyone can show up when it's easy. Anyone can win when they feel motivated. But champions are built in the days when everything inside them screams to quit, to rest, to skip, and they still choose to rise. They still choose to give themselves those 5 minutes. And that choice rewrites everything. The 5-minute habit is not just a routine, it is a weapon. It is the silent advantage of those who are serious about changing their lives. It is the difference between drifting and leading, between chaos and clarity, between regret and pride. And the beauty of it is this: it's available to everyone. No matter your past, no matter your failures, no matter your circumstances, you can claim it. You can wake up tomorrow and say, I choose to take back my morning. I choose to take back my mind. I choose to take back my life. When you guard those first 5 minutes, you send a message to the world. I am no longer living on accident. I am living on purpose. You become the architect of your own story. And as the days pass, as the habit deepens, you will find that your mornings no longer control you. You control them. Your mind no longer pulls you into distraction. You direct it. Your life no longer feels out of reach. You are building it, step by step, moment by moment. The 5-minute habit is simple, but it is not small. It is the quiet foundation of unstoppable growth. It is the proof that discipline is not some distant mountain. It is right here, right now, in this small choice. The people who win are not superhuman. They are the ones who show up in the moments no one else sees. They are the ones who refuse to waste the precious beginnings of their day. They are the ones who know that when you build your morning, you build your life. So when you lay your head down tonight, remember this: tomorrow morning you will stand at the door again. You will hear the whisper of comfort calling you back to sleep. You will feel the pull of distraction reaching for your attention. But you will also feel the fire of who you could become. And in that moment, you will know that 5 minutes stand between who you are and who you're meant to be. Choose them, protect them, repeat them, and you will build a life no one can take from you.